you can count on a man to do, it is embarrass you, because out of all of the women in the world, why are you having a baby with my best friend's baby? Please? Let's chit chat. Reality TV 2012. Marrying the Game comes on, and baby, it is a big deal. The world is really trying to figure out who is this woman that the Game, better known as Jayceon Taylor, is engaged to. The show ran from 2012 to 2014, and it gave very much them trying to figure out how to get down the aisle. They're already engaged, but they're trying to figure out how to get married. It's giving a little bit Chrissy and Jim, if you will. Is a thing at the time. On the same day that the show premieres, Vibe gave us this article in 2012. Question out the gate is, how did you meet Jayceon Taylor? Again, that is the Game. Tiffany lays that out. Next question. The answer to this question is the part that takes us into pop culture. Viewer asked Tiffany, well, now that you're a part of the VH1 family, are there any reality stars that you are looking forward to meet or that you have met already? I said, well, yeah, I know Evelyn Lozada and I know Shawnee O'Neal. I know Shawnee O'Neal because her and I went to high school together, and I know Evelyn because her man Chad Ochocinco is friends with my man Jayceon, the Game. As we know, it's giving friends. It's giving, we're having watch parties at the house for the premiere of your reality show. Only is it giving friend, it's giving Jonathan Majors through the phone. Even after Evelyn and Chad Ochocinco went to Splitsville, Miss Tiffany was still around. This is Tiffany at Evelyn's baby shower for her son that she had in a relationship after Chad Ochocinco. It's giving true sisterhood. It's giving real friendship. Look at Callie curled up with Auntie Ev. You don't sit with nobody like that and not call them Auntie. That is Auntie Ev. And now we got to explain to Callie that Auntie Ev is the abuelita to her new sibling. Is right out of all of the women in the world that Jayceon Taylor could have knocked down. He knocked down this young whippersnapper right here who happens to be the daughter of Evelyn Lozada, friend of his ex-fiance and baby mama. Jayceon ain't never gonna beat them weirdo allegations for me. Jayceon and Shanice is weird, just like, well, you know. Jayceon Taylor was born November 29th, 1979, which means in 2012, he would have been 33 years old. And he's born in 1993, which means that in 2012, she would have been 19 years old. So please play Friend of Mine, because what?
How Basketball Wives has ended up in the court of public opinion. And it's that good old Evelyn Lozada. She has hired a private investigator, and that private investigator has found out that Jackie Christie used to sell her Tussy cat. All right, now this is my issue here. Attorney Simone Redwine, I'm going to throw this to you. Is this legal? Is it legal for her to hire a private investigator, which I know the answer to that is yes, but is it legal for her to film on national television her meeting the findings of the investigation?
I'm so glad that you asked, Al. So the answer is yes. Now, if you haven't subscribed, I encourage you. My channel is called Girl, Is That Legal? Here on YouTube. And I actually do segments on background checks. I actually give people, you can go to my page. There are instructions there on how you can submit a request for a background check. And I reveal the results live. However, Al, the difference is when I do it, I generally blur out important things. And I allow people to make the request and come on. You have to come on live to get your answers, but you can be anonymous. Okay. And then I blur out the name of the target person. Now here, because Jackie was her castmate, and I watched the clip of how it was done, she was able to do that because of the fact that this is public information. I actually, because I'm so obsessed with this stuff, I actually became a licensed private investigator. So I actually can and do these things as well myself. And the biggest thing is they have a responsibility to be clear that the information that they found, right, was it under the name of Jackie Christie. At the time, apparently Jackie's been married 4 times. Prior to this broadcast, I did a background check on Jackie my darn self. Miss Thing has been married at least 4 times. She absolutely did have that prostitution charge in 1987, but it was under the name Jackie Marie Wilson. The answer is yes, you can do that because of the fact that this is public information, but you must be very clear that of the name, of the birthday or the age of the person, so that if there's anything incorrect, you've covered your butt, because if you don't do it right, you could set yourself up for a lawsuit.
All right, Attorney Xavier, in the court of public opinion, is this legal?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Your Honor. I'm still trying to figure out how the use of the word "tussy" in the court of law is. I've never heard that in my experience, Your Honor. So that's really clouding my judgment right now. Can we give Attorney Shaitan some time while I just
get Attorney Turner, what you got for me, baby?
I was struggling with that same thing. I mean, as Simone show's called, is that legal? Another question here is, girl, is that cool? Right? Like, it's the same concept that we were just talking about with the Playboy case. Time has passed. She's a different person. And did she consent for that to be on national TV in that way? I mean, her ability to claim invasion of privacy when she's on a reality TV show seems specious to me. But it wasn't cool. It was designed to embarrass her, and it's unfortunate.
You know what? Speaking of that, Your Honor, I like to say I like fairness. You know, if you're gonna do wrong right. So tomorrow, come on over to my channel, Girl, Is That Legal? And what I want to do is I want to do a background check on Evelyn Lozada as well. Let's make it fair. They've, she's done one on. I'm gonna do Evelyn, and if I really feel squirrely, I might do a daughter. I don't know, but I just feel like.
Right now, order in the court. Hold on now. Order in my court.
Why her daughter get
order in my court now? We're gonna do all that good background check. We need to do it.
Just come on over to my channel tomorrow.
We need to do it on the Court of Public Opinion Ladies Night on Friday or something hot like that. Okay, so I just want to be very clear. It is okay to legally run a background check on someone, not yourself, all right, and reveal the findings on national television recorded without anyone's consent. Am I hearing, counselors, all three, am I hearing that this is legal?
Well, what she did was legal. There are limitations. If you're doing like Fair Credit Reporting Act stuff and certain information, you can't just go in and get about people and publicize it. But if you're talking about things that are a matter of the results of litigation, criminal or civil litigation, which are public in the public record, then that is something that really anybody who's motivated can do, and there's no restriction about that.
Yeah,
go ahead, David.
Oh no, I was just gonna say a lot of what was revealed are things that could be found in public record. If you just go to the jurisdiction in which the case was had, look it up in the important document, you can usually find the details of that case. And it sounds like that's kind of what the private investigator did here. And like those matters that are open to the general public, that there's no violation there.
Gotcha.
Right.
All right. All right. So let's how should Jackie retaliate legally? All right, Simone Redwine, I see you're ready for this. What would you do if you were Jackie Christie?
So legally, all she can do is tell her story. As long as everything is accurate and it actually happened, no crime has occurred. She just needs to live her best life because Evelyn Lozada was out here peep popping for rent. Okay, she literally has to keep having babies with men in order to make sure she can stay afloat. And her last baby she had with Carl Crawford from Texas, where technically his child support is capped at $2,300. So really, it seems as though Evelyn Lozada is just mad that she's got poor pussy management.
Oh God! Oh, order in my court.
I'm sorry, Anna.
Order in my court. Order in my court.
I'm sorry, Anna.
I don't even know if I can remember it.
You want to bang the gavel and she didn't drop the keyboard?
I'm sorry, Anna.
What is going on in the court of public opinion?
I don't like that type of behavior. It was so ugly. Jackie was in foster care at the time when she was doing those things. For all we know, she was doing that for tampons, deodorant. She's trying to get out the group home.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, hold on.
I don't like that. I don't like mean people.
Okay, ladies, calm down. I know we got a new expert in the building.
Judge?
Yes.
One quick thing, Judge, and this isn't a funny thing. I just wanted to go back to Brandy's question. What I would do if I was in private practice, and maybe even do pro bono for Jackie, because that whole thing about the tampons and the deodorant pulled in my heartstrings. I would try to assert harassment and intentional infliction of emotional distress claim, regardless of the fact that it was true information, to say that Evelyn's intent was to harm her. I don't know if it would go anywhere, but I think it could pass muster and pass a motion to dismiss and could at least be heard. And maybe we could get some of that money from Evelyn, from the
Come on, firecracker Shaitan. Come on, attorney Shaitan. You better earn your seat tonight. I see you. And Karma Lay, I think that's how you said, could Jackie sue Evelyn for psychological damages? All right, we just heard attorney Shaitan just spoke into that. Let's keep it moving. Shannon Farmer says, we got chicks out here laying it low and spreading it wide for a meal. How long ago was this? But Evelyn slanging Tussy for a baller. Uh-oh. All right, I don't think that's a question. I think that's a statement. Let's keep going. Karma Lay says, at Al Reynolds, could Jackie sue Al? Yes, we just answered that. All right, let's keep it going. This is Sar Barbarex 969. Oh, I don't know what that is. Anybody know what that is?
Nobody knows what that is. We don't know that word. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Open source intelligence.
I'm look up the definition for Tussy because it keeps getting brought up.
I have a Tussy?
I don't have it in any of my notes, Your Honor. I don't have it in my notes, Your Honor. I wasn't prepared for the Tussy usage.
Well, y'all, he put his glasses on.
I gotta be official. I gotta read here.
Attorney Red Wine, would you like to explain to Counselor Xavier what a Tussy cat is?
I think it's a girl's bottom that is YouTube appropriate for monetization purposes. I think because I know a bussy is a boy's bottom.
Okay, whoa. Now see the new term.
Right.
Here we go. New term. Got to add it. Here we go.
Don't the male guests have to stand up and turn around? Didn't we hear that? No, I'm just
Okay, y'all are doing.
Y'all are doing. This ain't doing a damn thing. Nope. He's gonna sit right here and write down the Bussy BUSSI. I saw the comment. BUSSI. Got it. Thank you, Your Honor, for allowing me this sidebar. I appreciate it.
You've learned something you didn't learn in law school right here in the court of public
learned so much, Your Honor. I was not prepared. All
right, we got two more, y'all. Two more death gods. Most judges are tough and firm with attorneys. He's playing the role. Relax, people. All right, thank you, Dev guys. Some people just want something to complain about. I don't understand. All right, and we're back with Brandy Gardner again. She said, can the family of Kiki from Love and Marriage Huntsville sue OWN? We're not talking about that one, but maybe we should put that in the lineup for Friday. So Brandy Gardner, please come back and check us out Friday. All right, everybody, it's that time of the show where the attorneys and counselors that's sitting on the panel tonight will give their verdict, and I will give mine on the topics that we covered. First up, guilty or not guilty? Is Rachel's Lindsay, Evelyn Lozada, is she guilty or not guilty of, well, legally, what would she, well, this is legal versus ethics, right? Is she guilty of not having any ethics? Attorney
that she ain't got no ethics. Yeah, she guilty of that.
All right, Simone says guilty. Shaitan, is Evelyn guilty or not guilty?
She's not guilty under the law, but she's guilty of being a horrible human.
All right, Xavier, what say you? Is it okay for Jackie Christie to throw her Tussy cat around for money or not?
In my legal opinion, in the eyes of the law, I don't think what she did was illegal, so not guilty. But is it something that I would condone people do outside of the law? Probably not a good look.
All right, in the court of public opinion, Al Reynolds, I'm going to find Evelyn Lozada legally not guilty, but ethically guilty. Guilty is charged. This is going to be a good season. I promise you, I'm going to be tuned in because I want to see what Jackie Christie's snapback is going to be. All right, last up, the Grambling University player is suing the NCAA. Is the NCAA guilty or not guilty of racial discrimination? Attorney Simone Redwine, what say you?
Oh, they did that shit.
Is that guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right, Attorney Shaitan, guilty or not guilty?
Again, because you're pushing me, I'm going to go with not guilty. Only
really?
Because in some of the writings, they said she had a standing issue. And so I kind of need to get more information. But I think that NCAA is exposed in a lot of ways, but I'm gonna go with not guilty.
Wait a minute, what kind of girl is this? I'm looking
Okay,
at the picture
hold on, please.
No, don't go there. Don't go there, honey. Don't go there.
And Jennifer Williams, Christian Gold, welcome to the court of public opinion. And guess what? You're not in the court of public opinion for a current crime. Instead, you are in the court of public opinion for a previous crime. A previous crime involving a restitution to the tune of what he says, $250,000. Now, in the court of public opinion, we're going to need some answers here. Attorney, you're criminal defense attorney, Brian Ross. Help me out here, because if you have a $250,000 restitution, what type of crimes are you committing?
Let's run through it. If you get caught trafficking cocaine, you don't have a big restitution. You go to jail, but you have to pay back the cops for doing their jobs, the prosecutors, but you didn't steal from anybody. Let's suppose you beat somebody up. Okay, maybe it was physical, right? And they were injured. You could have that amount. But the most likely scenario, without having access to the charging document, is that he was charged with some sort of theft, some sort of thievery related thing. He unjustly enriched himself in a criminal way, and he has to pay that back. In many of my cases, people are charged with some sort of theft, and the amount could be $100,000, $200,000, $1 million. Well, instead of giving them a lot of jail, what we do is we structure their probation in a way where their probation ends once they pay back all the money. So they do a few days in jail, get out, and they have a good job. Like this gentleman seems to have some sort of access to some sort of job. And then
what job? He said he doesn't have a job.
He says he's an investor. He says he's got 8 figures in net worth.
No, that's what he says his company does. He says live on the show the other night that he doesn't have a job. He wants Jen to let him get a job. Attorney Simone Redwine, do you have any insight on this story at all?
I sure do, and I could show you better than I can tell you. Bailiff, can you cue that clip we have?
And then, of course, you know the situation we talked about with me and parole and still paying restitution.
Yeah.
It's an astronomical amount that I have to get to them in order to make sure I'm off. And we're talking a little under 250,000.
Christian is on probation from a case 10 years ago that is still affecting his life.
I went to prison behind a toxic relationship.
Really?
Never put my hands on her, right? I'm blocking the door. So I'm trying to have a conversation. It gets heated. And of course, the judge had it out for me. She sent me to prison.
I knew about the restitution since day one. However, I didn't know the number. We have this extravagant wedding that is going to cost somewhere near that. It's just bad timing. So basically, there's $250,000 left. That's like $50,000 a month.
$50K. But this is the reason why I want to be released from their control, because there's no hindrance on me traveling outside the country.
Okay,
and I would hate for that to happen a month before our wedding.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So the gist of it is he's saying that there's $250K left. She breaks it down. We could take care of it in 4 months over $50K. He lying. Jennifer,
he gotta be
scamming you. He's lying. Okay. The crime here was false imprisonment. Okay. He was actually charged with 2 things. He was charged with false imprisonment as well as family violence. He was found not guilty of the family violence, but was found guilty of the false imprisonment. That is a crime that didn't incur medical bills. It didn't incur any of that. The truth of the matter is, Jennifer Williams, we need to use her we don't need Crime Stoppers. When there's a crime, don't use her. Put her in a bikini. She will find the criminal. Okay. She's dated them her whole life. This is like the 3rd one in a row. Prior to him, it was a guy who ran off with her Range Rover, etc., etc. The truth of the matter is, go ahead, bailiff. Put on the document that I listed as Exhibit A. Go ahead.
Lord.
The restitution document. Go. The truth of the matter is, this man only owes $12,500.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Wow.
Hold on. This is what document are we looking at here? And you said it's $12,500, not close to $250,000 like he's saying?
That's correct. It says consent order. There it is. the consent restitution order. Okay. I blocked off the victim's name. So restitution goes to the victims of your crime. So I blocked off the victim's name, right? But you see the amount, $12,500, signed by the judge, signed by his lawyer and the state. So he knew good and gosh darn well it wasn't no 250. Even if you add probation fees, etc., it don't go up to no 250.
Is it possible that it's outstanding attorney's fees still or something? Maybe like wow
attorney's fees will not prevent you from getting off of parole or probation.
I get that. But what I can't figure out is how he could expand this, and all she has to do is do what you did, which is for everyone watching.
Well, clearly she's not doing that, Attorney Ross. She didn't even know the amount. I don't understand how you could be engaged with someone. How can you be engaged with someone who's on parole? You know that he owes restitution, but you never said how much restitution do you owe. It just seems like to me that would be.
She probably wasn't worried about it because he talks about being worth 10 million or 8 million, having I believe it's a $5 million watch. So if you've got a $5 million watch on your head, that's also how we know he's lying. Because if you walk around, if you walk around with that, then the first thing, don't you come asking your woman for shit. You better go auction that watch. Auction that watch.
Listen, Simone Redwine. I go out. I mean, I won't have to meet a woman. She says, I'm a doctor. Really? Within about 2 weeks, I'm going to say, how much is your student loan debt? I'm going to try and get to the bottom.
See, Jennifer looks at long-term problems with short-term solutions, okay? She wants to be happy right now. She wants to have a good time right now. She wants to be associated and attached to a cutie pie, or she wants to be back on TV. And all of the shows that she's on, you have to have a love interest. So she'd be grasping at straws. He is the present straw. So whether this is a storyline or real life, Jennifer, you look stupid. I don't want you to do this anymore. I do a deep dive on my channel. Girl is at legal into his entire criminal background, all of the things that are there, his prior debts, etc. Because you take on his debts, you take on his back child support, you marry him without agreements in place. Jennifer, this is your life all over again. You're gonna be just like how you was a few years ago, running around the country, putting up Instagram posts looking for your Range Rover. I want better for you, honey. I want better for you.
So before we close this out, let me be clear that I understand exactly what both of you are saying. All right, number one, we can't find any legal documents that support his claim of $250,000 restitution. Am I hearing this correctly, Ross? And
not all.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And more specifically, he specifically says it was for an offense that occurred 10 years ago. This occurred literally 10 years ago. It is the only offense on his record. Yes, Your Honor.
Wow. That's my legal beagles, everybody. That's my legal beagles, everybody.
Girl, get out of the relationship.
Clarification. It's the only offense on his record from 10 years ago. It happened in 2014. He was sentenced in 15. He's got other stuff, but I'm saying this is the only one that's defined by those things and that involved the domestic issues that he was referring to. Because as I said, false imprisonment, family violence, this was the resolution.
When you say that other offenses were found, what do you mean?
I think one of them was theft. Other things like that. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he likes other people's money, and he touts himself as teaching people how to do money management. Here's the thing: as a convicted felon, he cannot, and a convicted felon within the time period, he can't have a license.
Cannot have a license.
So if you give this man your money, you are risking the fact of which means he can't be licensed, he can't be bonded. So that means if he makes a mistake with your money, you have no reason. You can't sue nobody. You are going to have to stand in line like his baby mama and everybody else.
Okay, so let me ask the last question before we move off of this, Attorney Redwine and Ross. If Jennifer marries him without certain stipulations, doesn't all of his issues become her issues when it comes to finances?
I don't think so. I'll let Simone weigh in on this more, but I don't think so.
Not the restitution, but it does impact her in that the two, like they couldn't have a destination wedding. They couldn't do a number of things that are required for travel. And that's because other countries won't let him in without having his stuff resolved. In addition, so while child support cannot be set on their joint income, what can happen is if he ever has a garnishment and they have a joint bank account, they can take her money and his. They don't say which one is yours, how much is yours, how much is his. And if they file joint taxes, they can take her refund all the time. So yes, commingling with someone who does not have their monetary affairs in order is a huge risk.
Wow.
Bad credit. Yep.
All right, algoriters and everybody. We're teaching you something every day here on the Court of Public Opinion. It's that time of the show where we issue our verdicts as it relates to those who have ended up in the Court of Public